What's up, YouTube? For tonight's video, we got something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a 30-minute hatching egg challenge from random people. So I went on my stream, I got 6 random eggs from 6 random people, and I'm going to be doing a battle at the end. So the rules are, it's 30 minutes after hatching the eggs, I need to make the team. No nature mints allowed, no dupe Pokemon, so I go on to another one if I get a dupe. No getting rid of a Pokemon, no rebreeding, and no knowledge of what egg I get, of course. So these are the rules. Maybe I can do a little bit more editing into the next video. This one was actually done live on my stream, so I had to do a few cuts in my team building process. So if you guys like this sort of video, please drop a like and let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely do on next time. I maybe can put up like a fancy timer and all that sort of stuff. It's up to you guys if you'd like to see this. I'm just trying some new things out. So here is a little compilation of me actually receiving the eggs here. I traded 6 Magikarp away on my live stream. You can check me out on Twitch if you like. Their link is in the description of the video. And I thought I'd do some more challenge videos tonight, and it was actually pretty fun. I'm definitely going to try this one again for sure, whether I do a video over on YouTube or just do it casually on my Twitch stream. So we got some more eggs coming in here, and we did a little shout out for everyone actually giving me the eggs there. So these 6 people, you are lucky because I did just a random code on my Twitch stream. I put it in and I traded the person. We actually had one person try to trade me like not an egg. It was actually pretty funny. So there you go, people. This is the last egg here, and I had all 6 eggs ready to go and ready to get rolling. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing what actually hatch out of the eggs to start with, right? It was pretty cool, right? So once again, when I do a 30-minute challenge, obviously I got to wait till I hatch the eggs, right? Because that'll take up like a lot of time actually building the team and stuff. Okay, so the first Pokemon was a Psyduck. So Psyduck's a pretty interesting Pokemon. It can be run multiple ways, right? And it all depends on what nature I get to, what moves I get. Like, people could just straight up give me like absolute breeding scum, or they could just give me a Pokemon with no like good IVs or EVs and moves or anything. So it's a very, very cool challenge, and I relish the challenge, people. You know that. Next Pokemon is a Swine up here. So we got 2 interesting Pokemon so far. I mean, we could have a good special attacker, a good physical attacker, but once again, you really can't plan that out till you actually show off the, the stats of the Pokemon as well. So I asked people just to give me straight random stuff, not specifically anything, right? So the third Pokemon is the Abra. So some very interesting Pokemon so far. Now, one thing with Abra, right? I wasn't allowed to get rid of Pokemon, but I was allowed to get rid of a Pokemon and get it back. So if I wanted to trade a Pokemon, I sort of decided those rules were cool to do that, because it's be kind of lame not evolving it, right? So we got the Alola Vulpix as the next Pokemon as well, and all the rules are basically as it is. So anything I didn't mention there is, on the table. Obviously, I can't use any hacks or anything, that sort of thing, Kappa. All right, so we got the last egg here, and this one was a pretty interesting Pokemon, to say the least. That was a Vullaby. So Vullaby you don't see too often either, and I thought, this would be a pretty fun Pokemon to use as well. Of course, I was allowed to evolve the Pokemon if I wanted to. If I didn't want to evolve them, I didn't have to either. So there's some more little rules. Maybe I could do up like a more specific rule set at the start of the video next time. I'm not sure. Once again, I just want to see if you guys like this sort of thing, and maybe we could have it as a Saturday sort of video series, something a little bit extra on the channel, right? Okay, so my last Pokemon here was the Escu. So Escu's a nice Pokemon. Okay, so let's have a little look what this Psyduck actually has. We have the Damp ability there, which is pretty damp. And the other moves that I had were Scratch and Tail Whip. So the person who gave me this egg, they gave me nothing, man. I've got Scratch and Tail Whip. I got Modest Nature though, so that's pretty good. So we can run a special attacking Golduck here. So that's kind of nice. I'm kind of up for that one. I was thinking here we could maybe go for like a Choice Specs one or something like that. That was my thoughts of this part of the video right now. This isn't a live narration. Next time, I'll do them as a live narration, right? That'd be super cool. So we got the Adamant Nature Abra. It was a physical Abra. Oh, no, this is not good. So I was running through my head, man, I got to bring back the classic PIMPNITE physical Alakazam. We got to do it again, people. And of course, they had like Teleport and Confusion. So not very, very good moves there for, like, a physical one. But there were a couple of moves I was actually starting to run through in mind that I could actually use, right? We had Inner Focus as the ability, of course, as well. And you guys can see the stats. Okay, so the next one was a Swine up here. We got Snow Cloak as ability. We got Tackle, Mud Slap, Icicle Crash, and Curse. So some really, really cool moves there. Once again, I'm not really definitely, I feel like I should be able to, add some moves to it and stuff like that, and that'd be kind of cool. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit boring if I just had, like, tackle on all the Pokemon, right? So that's what I was thinking about while I was doing this challenge as well. So we got some really interesting moves there. I can either make this a physical one or a special one. I did have the Jolly Nature on this, so I decided to actually be running this one, as a physical one. Definitely there. And as you can see, that's everything about the Swinub. We got that Premier Ball as well. And the next Pokemon here we got is a Lollivolpic. So we got the Snow Cloak there, which is kind of interesting. We got a lot of ice Pokemon. Powder Snow, Tail Whip, all those sort of moves there. So some pretty nice things. Baby Doll Eyes and Freeze Dry as well. So some cool moves there. Next one we got is Vullaby. We got Gus, Leer, and Roost. That's pretty much it. And we got Overcoat, which is going to be kind of nice on an ice team. So we've got a lot of ice Pokemon, but we do have a fair lot of weaknesses on this team too. But I'm definitely looking forward to this because these are a whole bunch of random Pokemon I didn't breed myself. And basically, you sort of get like thrown in the deep end because you're going to like think on the spot if someone gives you like a bad ability. Like this Escu, this was Powder Snow, Belly Drum, but it had Modest Nature. I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do with this one? So I was like, do I go for like a physical set, get a Belly Drum off, but with Modest and try and make up for that drop? Or do I go for a special one and get rid of Belly Drum? Or do I go for something a little bit different? Okay, so let's go through this. Once again, I did a couple of cuts in here because I was streaming, so I did sort of allow for those, me doing like shout outs and things like that. So Psyduck obviously could learn the move Blizzard, so I thought, let's give it Blizzard. That'd be a really, really nice ice move to use. Since we're running Modest Nature as well, I thought that could be like really, really handy on it too. Now, I also gave it Hydro Pump too, so we got the Blizzard and the Hydro Pump. They are going to be working like pretty well with Psyduck, right? Now, I know Psyduck does get some other kind of like moves, so at the moment we got Blizzard, Hydro Pump, Scratch and Tail Whip. So we've got to get rid of Scratch and Tail Whip, right? I was thinking maybe Psychic or something like that. My first initial thoughts are maybe to make it like, I don't know, like a Choice Specs Pokemon. Something along those lines, right? So we're going to use some experience candies here and just get it up to level. I was thinking if I even need to get them to level 100, just in case I need to do some bottle capping or that sort of thing. I did actually change my mind later on this, so I just sort of just did them to over level 50. But later on, I did get them to level 100 as well. So we had the Psyduck evolving now. They did get some moves on evolution too, which was kind of nice. But I definitely allowed me to have like moves to like TRs, and I went back to the move relearner as well. I thought that was sort of like a fair thing too, so I could get some interesting sets going. So now we got the Golduck. So Golduck is the first Pokemon on my team that I've got. I've still got 2 more moves remaining that I need to do. I was actually thinking of running Psychic or Psyshock on the set. I really wasn't sure, right? Also thinking like it could get a maybe expanding force from the move tutor as like well. That'd like be super nice as well. So we've also got Psyshock here. I'm going to be giving that to Golduck. I was thinking about giving it Psychic, and then I was like, nah, I'll make it a mixed sweeper. Then I was starting to think maybe I should make it a bulky set instead of Choice Specs, right? Because I do have a couple of Assault Vests to give it. I actually gave it Soak as well upon like leveling up. Also had Wonder Room on there. They actually replaced. But I changed my mind after a while and taught it Psyshock, and I got rid of that move as well. So that's what we were doing for the Golduck. Now, once again, the EVs, I'm not going to show like every single little thing because this was obviously from a Twitch stream, right? But I will in my 30-minute process, right, on the next thing. So we got Flip Turn as the other sort of move I gave it. I was like, okay, Assault Vest, 3 special attacks, and Flip Turn, just in case I come into a situation where I completely wall. Like, say if a Chansey comes out, right? I just Flip Turn and go into a physical attacker. Or just general scouting. I thought that it could like be super, super handy there on my Golduck. So Golduck's moves were pretty much decided there, which is kind of nice. And we're pretty much going to go on to the next Pokemon here. I gave it the Assault Vest, so I attached to that one. So it's going to be pretty bulky on the special side, which is going to be like really, really nice, right? So now we're going to move the Golduck. Actually, to give you guys a look at it there. So we got all those moves. I haven't EV trained it at this point of the game yet, but there is a moves, and we've got the Modest Nature there. So you guys can see it's, definitely exactly the same one that I got from the egg. Okay, so we got level 84. I decided to call it I actually asked the chat, I'm like, guys, what sort of name should I give the Golduck, right? And the name, it was Quacks. I think it was Quackster that was the name of the Golduck here. No, Quackity. It was Quackity. It's Quacks or Quack. I think it was Quackity or Quackster. There we go. It was Quacker, guys. Quacker. Quackers like crackers. you know, those biscuits you eat. So that's the Quackers, the gold. So that's our first Pokemon. I also wanted to nickname as well. I thought that giving him a nickname would be kind of nice, and maybe I could add that into the challenge. I mean, maybe if I'm on the clock, I maybe won't nickname them. I feel like nickname doesn't have to be a thing, so I could maybe, I don't know, what do you think, guys? Would I be allowed to sort of like nickname them after they hatched, or would I have to do that in the 30 minutes? I feel like that doesn't really change how they'd go in a battle, so maybe I could do that before, decide on some nicknames before, then start the clock. I don't know. Once again, any sort of feedback or advice on these rules, what I've done so far, or just, you know, any positive sort of advice that would be great in the comment section. You know, once again, if this is a series you guys would like to see. Okay, so we had the Kadabra here, and that's the Abra. We're going to evolve that with the, you know, the candies there. Now, once again, I did say at the start I wasn't allowed to trade Pokemon away, but however, I did trade the Pokemon away as in just to evolve it. So it did come back to me as a Alakazam, and thank you, Roger Lear, for that one, doing that one on stream. I actually was going to do this on stream, and I think, oh, if I trade this away to a random, I'm not going to get it back. So we got the Alakazam. I call that one 69,000 IQ. Everyone agreed that was a pretty dandy name there. And, I mean, I think the second one was 17 IQ, but I thought 69,000 IQ was a pretty good name for the Alakazam there. So we're looking through some of its moves to learn, and it's a physical set with Adamant. They're pretty much the only good, like, other than Zen, I think it was Zen Headbutt or Psycho Cut. So I gave it Psycho Cut so I could get like some crits and that sort of thing. Now, also knew that it already learned Drain Punch because I've done a physical Alakazam in the past. So we gave it Drain Punch, which was kind of nice. Also, I could Dynamax and maybe go for like a boost and attack there. Now, I gave it Ice Punch as well for a little bit of coverage. And the last move I was thinking, you know, what should I give it? And then I sort of seen Metro and I was like, I got to give it Metronome, guys. I got to get rid of Teleport and give it Metronome. So we gave it Ice Punch there. I scrolled down to Metronome and gave it. Pretty much when you're building a physical Alakazam, it's hot smoking trash. So it pretty much doesn't matter what you do. In the case of me giving Metronome, I thought I might get a really powerful physical move, or I might get something like Sword Dance, which would be crazy, and sort of just like, you know, hope my luck sort of like gets something really great. Well, even if I got Explosion, that would be crazy, something like that. Okay, so the item I obviously gave it was Focus Sash here. Alakazam really can't take a hit really well, so I gave it Focus Sash. I thought that'd be quite nice. I could go for a Psycho Cut, or, you know, I could at least go for one Metronome, right? So here's the Alakazam, 69,000 IQ. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Alakazam. Okay, so I started nicknaming some of the other Pokemon that I got to. So the Escu, the chat and me decided was called Happy Feet, right? This was kind of hard, actually, cutting all these little bits out to sort of, like, merge it into 30 minutes. I believe I pretty much would have done it into 30 minutes when I took out all the stuff of just, you know, talking to chat, locating a couple of things. So I'll probably have everything like prepared before. So I'll have enough bottle caps. I'll have all the stuff I need, so I don't need to sort of race around and do that. So when I take all that stuff out, I most definitely did this one in 30 minutes for sure. Okay, so the next one we had, right, was this. This was a very, very, very naughty name that the person who actually traded me the Swine Up called this Filthy Swine. That's a very naughty name, but it's pretty funny at the same time. Okay, so we're going to have that as a Mamoswine. We decided on Mamoswine because I kind of needed it on my team, right? Now, the other Pokemon we had, right, we had a Vulpix, right? And as soon as I seen a lot of Vulpix, right, I was thinking Sheer Cold. And then I was thinking of that song, that Frozen song, Let It Go, Let It Go. So I thought that'd be a really good name to give it, right? And, you know, when you hit them with Sheer Cold, they just gotta, you know, they just have to let it go. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking anyway. So the last Pokemon I was thinking of here... Oh, it was Mandibuzz. We had the Vullaby. So obviously Mandibuzz's usual name is Mandibuzz. But we had a good suggestion, I believe it's from Scholar, to call it Man DC Buzz. So hopefully I could get a DC with this Mandibuzz. You know, one way or another. I didn't think I'd make like a bulky set. I thought I'd make like a different kind of set because, you know, it's a normal one. Okay, so now we gave some experience to the Swine Up here. We evolved it, and I gave it some extra moves. So I got rid of Tackle to teach it Ice Shard. Now, it already had Icicle Crash, but we were actually thinking, and I was thinking of making a Weakness Policy set with Endure. Now, I was thinking Weakness Policy, and it actually got Flail earlier on. I got rid of Flail, so I had to probably, like, get Flail back, you know, on top of the Swine Up, too. So that was the sort of set I was running with, and, you know, I gave it Max Attack, and max speed as well. Now, the Golduck was max health and max special attack. The Alakazam was max speed and max attack. In this, I didn't want to show, like, every single little thing about me feeding them items, like vitamins and stuff, right? That's going to be for when I do, like, a raw recording live, right? So it'll be, like, me doing the 30 minutes, and then after I'll do the battle, right? Now, depending on how it goes, I've actually, in today's video, I've got one battle. I don't know if I could do 2 battles in one. It'll sort of depend. Like, I don't want it to be, like, a really, really long video. I was sort of just thinking, basically, to get the best battle that I had with the team and leave it at that. Just one solid, really solid battle, because the video would be quite long when you add another battle on the team, right? Okay, so we finally got the Mammoth one. We had to go through and teach it Ancient Power to actually evolve it as well. Then I got rid of Ancient Power and retaught it Flail and Earthquake, those sort of moves to run on it, right? Because I wasn't thinking at the start to give it Flail, then I sort of like changed my mind. Okay, so now we got Happy Feet. Now, Happy Feet, I was thinking about doing a physical attacker, right, with Belly Drum, and then we started to think, like, and I was thinking, maybe we should go for, like, a mixed attacker, right, because I could have, like, a physical move for Belly Drum, and then a special move on the Escu, too. I was thinking, like, like an Ice Beam or something like that. Okay, so we evolved Let It Go anyway with the, and I gave it Bright Powder as the item there, too. So I thought Bright Powder, Hail, and, like, it'd just be, like, a really, like, scummy set in the Hail, right? Okay, so the last two Pokemon I had to level up was the Man-DC Buzz, right? And that was actually going to be a sweeping set. It wasn't very fast, so I actually noticed that I learned Tailwind upon actually evolving and stuff and leveling up. So I decided to teach it that. I actually deleted it early on, then I went back and taught it afterwards. So, yeah, I decided to go for Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, Air Slash, and Tailwind. Tailwind would also out some, like, the other Pokemon on my team, too, so I thought that'd be, like, kind of nice there. Okay, so the last Pokemon we're going to be leveling up is Happy Feet, and I was sort of thinking, should I run Substitute on it too, or should I run another move? It was actually really difficult to run what to run on an Escu with Modest Nature too. I was thinking actually starting to run like just a special one, but then I thought nah, I'm going to run like a mixed one. Okay, so we got the Man-DC Buzz here, which is Mandy Buzz, and it's going to be fairly bulky. I actually would have liked it to have weak armor, but you beggars can't be choosers when you receive an egg right. Okay, so leveling up that to 57 too, and we're going to give it Ice Beam for the Happy Feet Escu. And I was actually searching down, I was like, Liquidation would be a really nice move for the, any fire-type Pokemon as well, and that'll work really good. And we have Belly Drum to obviously to boost our attack. Obviously, it wasn't going to do much. Even after a Belly Drum with Modest Nature, it wasn't actually going to do, like, a lot of damage, right, because yeah, it's Modest Nature, and it's not even Stab either. So I pretty much had to get into my other form to do any sort of damage. So I decided in the end to give it a Substitute, and I gave it a Salac Berry too. And we had a couple of people suggesting some items and stuff in the chat too. So that's pretty much it. I went through and gave it Tailwind again. I was actually thinking about giving it Roost. I was like, nah, I'd rather just have Tailwind so I'm super fast because I don't have any weak armor. And that's going to be what my set is, right? Okay, so now I went to the bottle caps. So I had to obviously get them to level 100 to give them some training, and I just went through and gave some of them some max stats. I didn't max every single stat there was, right? I just went through and did a bit of hyper training for all of them, but pretty much here's the team here. We're all ready to go to do some battles. We got Psyshock, Flip Turn on the Golduck. You guys can see all the moves. I'm actually going to go through all the moves in battle anyway, but this is like a quick little scroll through all of them there, and there you go. That's the exact Pokemon that I received. If this was one of the Pokemon you traded me, you should feel special, because let's go, people. We are going to be doing a battle. This was a battle against David. David, if you ever see this video, man, damn, you had a really, really powerful team. Okay, so this one was on the normal arena. Out of all the arenas, I quite like this one the best. I know it's kind of boring, but I like it. Okay, so we had a Magearna lead in the Pokeball, and I was like, man, this is going to be really bad, right? So we got my Alakazam here. I'm thinking for a minute, should I go for the Freeze Axe and Ice Punch? I mean, I could go for Drain Punch here. And then I decided to go for Metronome. I was really, really hoping, right, I could get maybe Flare Blitz or something like that, or like a really powerful physical fire type move. So I'm going to wiggle my spoons, and I get Psychic. Out of all the moves, right, that I get from Metronome, I get Psychic. So at this point, I'm like, oh, I just can't do this anymore. And then we had a Flash Cannon from Magearna, and that's about a 2-hit KO. So now it's actually starting to think, if I go for Drain Punch here, I could actually restore a little bit of the health, right? And I could live the next one and then maybe go for a metronome afterwards, because my moves were doing absolutely nothing. I was max attack as well. So we got a little bit of health recovery back on the Alakazam. Focus Sash is completely useless now. I did actually think about doing Life Orb on the Alakazam instead, but I was like, nah, it's going to do no damage anyway, so I may as well have Focus Sash just in case I get like a sneaky, it's like a really good move of Metronome. You know, that could be like super, super good. So I locked in the Metronome here, and I went for the little Metronome, hoping I could get like a physical move, just anything good, but instead of getting an attacking move, I got Glare instead. Now, Glare wasn't all that bad. I mean, Magearna isn't the fastest Pokemon in the world, but I might be able to make use of it. So instead of using Flash Cannon this time, the Magearna actually goes for an Energy Ball. And down goes my Alakazam. So Magearna's going to get a Soul Heart, and I'm thinking, man, this battle is probably going to be over at the moment. So I was thinking, what can I swap in? Like, all of my Pokemon are going to get absolutely shreked by this. And I was thinking about maybe Mamoswine could come in and go for Endure, then Flail, Earthquake sort of combination against the rest of the team. Or maybe I could just Dynamax it straight up and just, see if I could body through the opponent's team. And, that was what was running through my head at the moment. Man, look at the size of Mamoswine's tail. So these are the Pokemon that were left there. Once again, people, if I do this in an edited style of video, I'll probably cut out all the sort of camera angles and stuff like this. Once again, this is sort of like a trial video, right? So we may go back to, I'll definitely go back to obviously cutting in between the turns and stuff like that if there's any sort of like empty space. So we got the Earthquake here. I was thinking maybe go for Dynamax or Endure. I really thought about this for quite a while because I had a couple of Pokemon on the team which I thought could outspeed me as well, or they could have access to a priority move. It could be like, really, really bad there. And I thought, in the end, let's go for Dynamax, a Mamoswine. If I take the Magearna out, which I thought I definitely could, I could get a boost in special defense too. And I could be like really, really like beastie there and maybe get like a weakness policy off and just sweep through this team right. Now, this was not the first battle I had either. I will say that. Before this, I had about 3 or 4 different battles, I believe, but none of them are really good at all. So I wanted to pick the best and most entertaining battle right. Okay, so I did remember all my Dynamax candy as well. I went through and did all of them. So yeah, you guys definitely at the stream could see that. And we get our first KO with our random egg team, which is really, really good there. And Mamoswine's going to get a nice buff in special defense too. But you guys might be able to see me use a couple more standard sort of sets as well. It's probably like kind of nice to see me using them. But once again, sometimes the Pokemon that I got weren't the greatest Pokemon, so it sort of like evened it out as well. And there was no like sort of synergy on the teams either, as you can see with all my ice Pokemon. Okay, so we got a Alola Marowak. Now, like the thought, I was like, is this bait, right? Is this like Focus Sash bait or something like that? Or like Will-O-Wisp bait? I really, really wasn't sure, right? So I just went for Max Quake again. I was like, I'm just going to go for it because this Pokemon's like, really, really strong too. And I took 2 Pokemon. I was like, man, this is actually going really, really well, right? I've taken 2 Pokemon out. Mamoswine was definitely the best Pokemon on my, hands down. Easily the best Pokemon on my team. Like way, way better than like practically everything. Okay, so I've taken 2 Pokemon out. Things are rosy right now. I've got 4 Pokemon left. The only bad thing is I have Dynamax by a Pokemon, and they can still Dynamax themselves. Okay, so Lycanroc's kind of come in here. I was like, okay, Lycanroc. What should I do here? Should I just go for a Max Quake here? Or what should I do? Should I just try and take it out? I decided to go for a Max Quake there. I thought that was sort of like the right thing to do. Then David, right, he swaps his Lycanroc out, and then he brings in his Mandibuzz. So he has a Mandibuzz too, except this one looks like it's been out in the sun a little bit too long. Okay, so that's obviously not going to affect Mandibuzz because it's a flying type, and Mamoswine is going to go back to normal. Now, I knew, right, without Icicle Crash on my set, there's no way in the history of Mammoth that I was going to be able to take this out. Like 69 ice shards was probably going to, that's probably what was going to take, right? So I thought instead of me getting, any damage, poison, anything annoying like that, I should probably go into my Mandibuzz and maybe set up on their Mandibuzz to take it out. Because usually Mandibuzz doesn't have a lot of presence about it. It's normally got Foul Play, a Roost, a Defog, Toxic, all that sort of stuff, right? So obviously we got the knockoff. It's going to get rid of my Citrus Spray, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world, right? They probably didn't predict me for going for a Tailwind and setting up here. Also, it can have Tailwind as well. That's quite a good move on. So I knew that I outspeed their Mandibuzz already, since I was running a max speed and max special attack Mandibuzz. Not that it was really fast, but I wanted to make use of that timid nature up. So Mandibuzz is going to go for the Toxic against me, and this is probably the longest section of the battle. Mandibuzz was really bulky to get around here. So I got hit by the poison, and I'm like, okay, I've got a couple of choices here. I either swap out into another Pokemon and try and take this absolute unit out in on the special side or the physical side, but I really was worrying, right, because these Pokemon lacked a lot of base power, right? So they went for a Roost there, predicting me to attack them. They're really slow. They were stalling me very hard in this matchup, right? Throughout the whole game, they had a couple of stally Pokemon, right? So I thought I probably need 4 plus 4, right? So I need 2 nasty plots. At bare minimum, I would have really loved like 6, but I knew that I wouldn't have the luxury of getting 6 up because that Toxic, right? And Mandibuzz was doing a little bit of extra damage with the, knockoff as well. So Poison was starting to, get really, like, dangerously racking up here. I probably had about, 2 more turns left to actually do something to Mandibuzz, and then I was going to be extinct, literally. So going for the Air Slash there on the Mandibuzz, and unfortunately for me, it only does, like under half health. I was really disappointed. I was hoping I could get a flinch there to take this thing out, and it's also got leftovers as the items. There's no way this is going to take it out in 2 shots. I don't need a crit or a flinch here. So Mandibuzz is on its last legs, literally. It's going to be going down, so I either need a flinch here before it uses Roost, or I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, basically. So go for that flinch there on the Mandibuzz, and Mandibuzz takes a lot of damage. And I do not get the flinch, and it gets the Roost off. I don't even get a crit, nothing like that. So things are looking really bad, right? Mandibuzz almost has all of its health back after all that effort with Tailwind and Nasty Plot. That's really unfortunate. So they were stalling me so hard. Like, their team was actually really, like, they had a very competitive team, right? They definitely had really competitive moves on their Pokemon. So this was a massive challenge for me, right? And I'd already lost my best Pokemon easily, like after Mamoswine, I'd say Mandibuzz was probably one of the second best Pokemon there. Okay, so now I was thinking, should I go into Let It Go and let them Sheer Colds go and give it a go? That's what I was thinking anyway. And, like, if I didn't go for the Let It Go Sheer Cold, I could possibly go for the Hail and Blizzard, right? So I was thinking, yeah, maybe I should look at the moveset. They're all ice moves. I was like, let's get the Hail up first. They're probably wondering why I wasn't have like Snow Warning and stuff. Okay, so we got the Hail up. That's going to allow me to land 100% actually Blizzards, right? Now, this was a timid set, right? So they're going to knock off my Bright Powder, which really sucked. I would have loved to miss there. That would have been great because that would have sort of set me up, for later on in the game. Maybe force their hand to Dynamax, right, to hit me with 100% actually sort of moves that, the Dynamax does. So go for Blizzard. I knew I wouldn't probably take it out in one shot, but I knew I'd hit it pretty hard, and Mandibuzz gets hit really hard. Now it's going to be going for the Defog there. So Defog's a little bit of a scummy move there. They're going to drop my evasiveness. It's like, okay, you know what, that's fine. They probably can't do a lot of damage to me, and they probably don't want to swap out either. They're probably thinking I got like Moon Blast and stuff like that, but the funny thing is I've only got 4 Ice-type moves, right? And Blizzard was pretty much my only option here. I could not go for Sheer Cold, basically because I had to get rid of Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz was like priority number 1 to get rid of. So finally I got rid of Mandibuzz. I was so happy, right, that I took it out. And I'm actually in a fairly good spot still. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad, right? So now Lycanroc's going to come in like, man, this is going to be really hard because he could go for a Stone Edge on the swap, or I could just straight up go for a Cell Rock. Like, what's my options here? Actually, at this point in the game, I was 4-3 up against a pretty dang good team. So I was like, let's go for the Veil. This actually might help me out a little bit more than going for a Sheer Cold. And they went for the Cell Rock there. And, man, I just got absolutely wasted. I don't think Ninetales actually had max in anything there. Not that it really mattered or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to get some Hail on the Lycanroc, which is nice if it had, like, Sash. It's gone. Now we got Quackers, right? We got Mamoswine, and we got Happy Feet. Now, Happy Feet really wasn't the greatest Pokemon in the world, definitely. I had max attack, and I had max speed on this thing, right? Now, I was starting to think, okay, if I go for Liquidation here, Liquidation should be a 2-hit KO in this range, but I am going to get hit pretty hard by its, like, Rock-type moves, right? So I've got to do some damage. So we got the Accel Rock here. That is going to hit my little Icy Face, and unfortunately, this was, like, really unfortunate, right? Because with the Hail, right, you could actually get the Ice Face, like, right back again. I was like, that'll be really good to get the Ice Face back, right after this. But then the Hail stopped. That was really bad for me and unfortunate, because now Lycanroc can freely go for, like, another Accel Rock and take me out. There wasn't much I could do either, and I just had to take the Accel Rock to the face. Sometimes, guys, you got to take an Accel Rock to the face, right? So that went down. I've only got 2 more Pokemon left. I'm starting to get really, really worried here whether I could actually do anything. Now, I've got Quackers, the bulky Golduck, and I've got Mamoswine. So I thought, okay, Mamoswine's probably going to be the go-to here. I can either go for an Ice Shard or an Earthquake. Now, I knew on their team there was a really, really bulky Pokemon. Yes, they had another really annoying-ass, bulky Pokemon, right? Looking at their team, it was a Porygon 2, right? And they had a Hatterene too, so I was sort of worried about that. I was starting to think they're probably going to expect me to go for a Ice Shard, right? That's what I'd expect. So they swapped and they went into the Porygon 2. So like, okay, that was good, right? They're going to take a full-powered Earthquake. Now, about Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is a fantastically bulky Pokemon. With this team, right, this was such a big ask for my team to try and take this out. Let alone the Manibuzz looking at the Porygon 2. I'm thinking here, man, well, like, what can I do? What are my options here? Psyshock's going to do nothing. Flip Turn's going to do nothing. Blizzard's going to do nothing. Or Golduck. Like, maybe I should get myself down to maybe Flail, like a max Flail. I decided to just keep, like, pummeling it with Earthquake and, you know, see what I can do, right? I was wondering what, like, sort of attacking moves I had. Maybe, like, Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, you know, those sort of things, like Discharge, Recover, all the sort of moves that Porygon 2, like, Normas gets. So Tri-Attack is a clear 2-hit. So I was sort of getting excited. I'm like, okay, if I Endure here, get that up, and then get a Flail, it should nearly almost take it out, right? This will be very, very close, because Flail is very powerful with 1 health. And instead of going for an attacking move, they went for Recover. Like, that was a really, really annoying thing there, because I'm like, man, there's nothing I can do here. I've got to get down into Flail range. So I was like, okay, maybe I should swap into Quackers here. I've got the Assault Vest, so I might be able to take that Tri-Attack a little bit better, and maybe hit it hard with, like, a Hydro Pump or something like that, right? Or I could Flip Turn into, my Pokemon from before. So I get hit by the Tri-Attack, and it does basically nothing. It's like a solid, like, 4 to 5 hit KO. Like, Golduck is probably about a 4-hit KO, around there. So I was thinking, okay, my only way around this is to get a Blizzard, like, Freeze Sack. So I don't see, like, actually taking this out anyway. So I went for the Blizzard there, and I got a Freeze Sack's first go. I was like, there's no way this happened. I got a Freeze Sack. So now the Porygon, right, it's frozen. This was my only chance to actually take it out. So I was like, okay, Golduck's probably not going to do as much damage. I don't want to go for a shaky Hydro Pump. I mean, Hydro Pump will do a lot of damage, right, with Modest Nature, but I feel like Mamoswine could be a better candidate, right, for going for Earthquakes, like, over constantly and not, like, missing. Now, I'd already blown my Dynamax earlier on in the game, so I couldn't go for that. So I was like, okay, let's go for Earthquake and hope I can take this Porygon out before it uses, like, Recover, like, for this, you know, millionth time, right? Okay, so Porygon was, like, look how much that did. I was running Jolly Nature and Max Attack and Max Speed. That did absolutely monkeys. I was assuming, right, that they were running a max health and max defense. They had to be running max health, max defense. They was just doing, like, way too little damage. So Porygon 2 is going to stay frozen. So it's like, I only need them to stay frozen and let it go for one more turn, right? And we're all good. So going for Earthquake here on the Porygon 2. I knew it wouldn't take it out, but it was very close. It lives on 1 health. The merchant available, and then it thawed out, people. It thawed out on 1 health. Oh, could you like think of a worse time for it to thaw out? So down goes Mamoswine, the heart of my attack force, and all I've got left now is Golduck, right? So like, okay, well, I'm going to go for a Disrespect Flip Turn here and flip off this Porygon for taking me off, right? Like, seriously. So all I've got left is Flip Turn, and I've got 2 other Pokemon to deal with. Like, I was in dire straits now. So go for that Flip Turn there, and Porygon goes down. I mean, I'm going to be honest right there. If I didn't get the Freeze Sacks, there was no way in the wide world of Pokemon I was going to take that. There's no way. It was, like, way too bulky, like, for the Pokemon I was running, right? Okay, maybe a crit with Hydro Pump might have taken it out. Okay, so we got Hatterene coming. Hatterene's fairly bulky on the special side, so, like, what can I do here? Should I go for Hydro Pump? Let's go for Blizzard again. Like, let's see if I can get like a Freeze Sack again on the Hatterene, right? So I wait for the Blizzard just half-hearted, and I got like a Freeze Sack again. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I got 2 Freeze Sacks. Like, that was 2 out of 2 Freeze Sacks on Blizzard. Like, I'm popping off right now. I was, like, super popping off. Now it's like, okay, if I go for Hydro Pump, this will drop pretty hard with Modest Nature, right? So I fire that Hydro Pump right out of my beak, and that lands, man. That lands, and Hatterene almost goes down, and then it thaws out again right at the last moment and uses Mystical Scum on me. Mystical Scum's going to drop my special attack. It's like, that didn't happen. Okay, so it's in range, right? It's like, is Flip Turn going to take it out? Or should I just go for flip? Should I go for flip turn or hydro pump? I didn't want it to live right. I was really worried that it would actually live. So I went for the hydro pump, and hydro pump landed, and I took the Hatterene. I was like, man, this is not happening. So Hatterene is going to go down there. And if you guys remember, the last Pokemon is Lycanroc. But I was like, okay, either, like, I've got a big choice here, right? Because if they Dynamax, which I'm 100% certain they're going to do, I feel like I could take this out with flip turn right here. But if they Dynamax, I don't think I'm going to. So, like, I had to think about this one for a long time. Like, hydro pump will most definitely take it out, right? It could miss. Blizzard's probably going to miss. And Psyshock, well, I don't know about Psyshock even taking it out in Dynamax. Like, honestly, my only way to take this out in Dynamax was hydro pump. That was it. Like, Psyshock, I had a -1 in special attack too, right? So it wasn't going to be doing like as much damage. And with Dynamax, I had to hit it with the super effective attack. So that pretty much only left me with hydro pump. I had 30 seconds to think of it. Like, I was really fretting over this one. I was like, I think they're going to be able to take me out the rock type move, but maybe I'll be able to live. Like, Golduck is reasonably bulky, right, with the Selfest. I was running a bulky one. I was running max health and max special attack. So it was pretty bulky, right? And I lost a reasonable amount of health, but, like, nothing, like, amazing, right? So they go for their Desperation Dynamax here, and we got a big old Lycanroc. That does look really, really cool in the blue. I really do like that. A very nice Pokemon there. So obviously I knew that I get outsped, right? It's whether I could live the move or not and take them out. They only had such a small amount of health left as well. So now we got 3 minutes of the battle left there. It's with the max rock from, like, I don't know if I'm going to live this, and unfortunately, I didn't end up living it, and that, my friends, was the game, but man, that was a crazy battle. Against all odds, I really clawed my way back into it, and I thought that was a really great battle. If you guys enjoy this, please drop a like and a comment on the video. If you want to see it again, and you got any suggestions, I'd love a comment and something below there, and I can definitely do some more editing, and maybe do it live next time, get a counter going, like a whole bunch of other things. Alright, people, have a wonderful day wherever you live in the world, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.